Okay, what up, everybody? It's Friday. It's Best Ball Part 2. John Mosales here at the Fantasy NFL Today Show. I got my man, Wizard of Best Ball, Anthony, here. We're going to do another live Best Ball draft. We had, I think, a pretty successful inaugural one. Anthony, what's cooking? Well, as you said.
Yeah, just a little thirsty, but everything's good. Just excited to do another draft. I did a warm-up one today on my lunch break. Turned out pretty interesting. I went Josh Allen in the third round.
Okay.
And I normally don't go high quarterback too often, so it was fun to experiment with that a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, everyone, we're going to just do a live draft. This is live on YouTube. Anybody watching, subscribe to our YouTube channel, support the Ethos feed. We got Anthony's kid in the background giving us a little background noise, but it's not going to be too big a deal. Better than when your mic is giving the echo. So this is going to be great. We just had the NFL draft, so rookies are now in season. Anthony, you're really the expert here. So what have you noticed? I'm going to got 100 questions, but let's say ADPs post draft. What have you seen?
A lot of rookies are flying up the draft board. The biggest riser has definitely been Travis Hunter, going to Jacksonville at number 2 in the NFL draft. When I started drafting in March, I was getting Travis Hunter anywhere from ADP 135 up to 110. He finished pre-draft best ball somewhere in like the 80s, 90s, maybe the 70s. Currently, he's going at an ADP of 40.
Whoa! Wow.
So that's a massive jump. So that's like the beginning of the 4th round, if my math serves, in a 12-team draft.
I'm bad at doing that too. I don't really get that because, I mean, he's a clear wide receiver too. No matter how good he is, he's not better than Brian Thomas Jr. Right? The O-line still stinks. The Trevor Lawrence has only got really one good season. The team's not going to be very good, and he might not even be a wide receiver all the time.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I am definitely passing on Hunter at his current ADP. I will mix him in every once in a while just because the talent is and the upside is just massive. So I don't want to have 0, but he's not somebody that I'm going to have, at least if his current ADP stands or even rises. I'm not going to have like 15-20% of Travis Hunter. I'll maybe have like 5 to 7%, again, just to kind of mix him in.
Let's get this draft going, so we'll just talk while it kind of goes.
Oh yeah,
so,
sure.
Do we get? I don't remember. Do we get to pick our spot, or is it going to be assigned?
No, so we'll just do a puppy here. They've added a 20-second timer, so drafts move a little bit quicker. You want to do the 20-second or the 30-second?
I mean, both are. Let's try 20. Let's just move it.
All right, let's do the 20. So no, you just kind of enter, and then it'll randomize the draft spot once it's full. We are waiting just for 3 more people.
Great. So where have you drafted, and is there a spot where it seems like everything kind of lines up for you nicely? Top, middle, late?
So I've kind of ended up all over the place. I've drafted maybe like 15 or 20 drafts already, slow drafts and fast drafts combined. So I've drafted all over the place. I think I like drafting in the back half of the draft. I just think that the combinations are a bit nicer and you can get a little bit more unique at the back half of the draft, in which we are 9th.
Okay, 9th. Okay. So last time we went running back heavy, right? We went Gibbs and Bucky, right?
We did. They were 2 of our first 3 picks. So we had a wide receiver in there. Don't recall off the top of my head, but yeah, 2 of our first 3 picks. No, we did not.
We got a Dunze. Okay, so I think maybe we'll go wide receiver. We'll try wide receiver, kind of heavy.
Yeah. I mean, always see how the draft falls. Always be fluid, but yeah, I mean, it's always fun to try different builds and kind of go into like some people. If you're drafting at the turn 11, 12, some people will go elite tight end and just draft Brock Bowers and Trey McBride, and then just ignore tight end the rest of the draft.
I mean, that's a strategy after my own heart, but that seems fun. Foolish.
Yeah, I mean,
you can flex the tight end, right?
You can, yeah, you can flex the tight end.
That makes more sense.
And in tournaments this big, I mean, chalk isn't going to win it, so it's fun to just try different things.
That's true. Yeah, well, yeah. If you do 100 teams, sure. Yeah, I'd probably have 10 that are double tight end.
Yeah.
What else? What other ADP movers have you seen? Because we saw a bunch of the high end wide receivers didn't get great landing spots, right? Like Ibuka, and I mean, I guess Bolden to Green Bay could be the one, but they still have a bunch of guys.
I actually like Jaden Reed in that I think a bit better. They actually go right around the same place, Golden and Reed. I'd prefer Reed. But anyway, back to your question. RJ Harvey had a massive jump as well. He was being drafted kind of like in the later, like the 170s ish area pre-draft. But then once he was drafted, I think in the second round, right, by the Broncos.
Yeah.
He's
Nate's
now in the
getting
late
impacted
50s.
big on him. All
Yeah,
right,
no,
so
he's
what's
now in
coming
the
up?
late
So
50s.
what do we like here? I mean, I'm Nico all day, but
I like Nico. I don't have too much Nico just yet, so yeah, I'm fine going Nico Collins.
Puka, I don't trust the health. Neighbors don't like the QB. St. Brown's great, but you're probably not winning with him because he's just so steady. And Brian Thomas, I don't trust Lawrence.
Yeah, no, let's go Nico. I'm
Perfect.
happy with it. Doesn't feel like there's much of a wrong answer in the back half of the first round. I mean, everyone's great, of course. Everyone has some concerns, but everyone, I mean,
Nico's concerns are what? Just health because he missed the 5 weeks with the hammy.
yeah, and CJ Stroud maybe not being what we thought he'd be after his rookie season. But I mean, he was still electric last season when he played. So there's not. He's probably one of the safer picks. Like I do worry a little bit about St. Brown just because they lost Ben Johnson, and I feel like whenever teams lose the mastermind, sometimes it's harder to replicate the success.
Okay, before we get too in here, so anybody watching on YouTube, right? You can drop us comments, give us suggestions who you like. Go subscribe to the Fantasy NFL Today podcast, or subscribe to our Sports Ethos YouTube channel. Give us a like, and comment, and subscribe. And that catches us out there. Okay, so now we're up again.
Yeah, I just went Puka because there's no way he should have fell to 16.
Okay,
and by the way,
yeah.
Look at this. Bowers McBride, just like I said some people did. That's interesting. So we'll definitely at the end we'll definitely have to peek and see how that team played out though, honestly, just to look at the strategy.
So we went Puka. Who else would have been on the radar?
This first round, Puka shouldn't have been there. I would have went Drake London at 16. That's right about his ADP.
Ladd, Jesus, that seems early for Ladd.
I want to look at how this turned out here at the turn while you were kind of talking about obviously subscribing and supporting the channel and things like that. Yeah, there went double tight end, double running back, and that allowed Puka and Brian Thomas to fall to 15 and 16, which in my opinion shouldn't happen. So I think both Lowry and us we just got incredible value and probably some pretty unique starts, to be honest. So this could be a really good one.
I'm the biggest Puka fan on the planet. His health scares me. He's got a little. Oh, you give me some kickback in your audio.
Oh, hang on. Let me just unplug the microphone. My child has calmed down, so I don't have to muffle the noise.
All right. So how much time do we have till our pick?
We've got 5 picks, and it's a 20-second timer. So let's kind of.
Okay. We got a question here. Sir Brooks 2. Yeah. All right. We're trying Garrett Wilson plus 20 for 107 plus Tyreek 4 CD Jonathan Taylor single QB. I love all the info. Boom, 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 boom. So what do you think? Plus, just getting off Tyreek is a win. I know Garrett's your guy. You're probably a bigger dynasty guy than I am. What do you think?
Hang on, we're on the clock. I'm so sorry.
Okay, it's okay. No. We'll get back to you.
Let's roll with Devontae Adams. I like that.
Really? No. He's old. No. Devontae.
No. In that offense, I think he's still going to be good.
Okay, whatever. Done.
And we got Puka and
we're getting Stafford
and Devontae. Yeah, so we can go ahead and try to lock Stafford. And I like
that. This guy's got Dak, so he's getting that the Lamb, right? You love that stack. And then get Garrett Wilson with Justin Fields, getting rid of that. This seems kind of great, eh? I mean, it seems like you're just trading a bunch of luggage.
Yeah. I
mean, right?
No, I'm a big fan of it.
Right. I mean, obviously Wilson, they could trade for, Flacco or something and Garrett becomes super stud again. But I'm the 30 age cliff for me, I'm out. So Tyreek 30, He had one reception of 40+ yards. I think he had like a 8 or 10 2 years ago. It doesn't look good. So I like this. I like this trade. With the 1.07? So that's what next year? What's going to be a good draft, or was it 2 years from now?
We went Brees Hall, by the way. The 2026 draft, I don't know a ton about, but 2027 is supposedly when Arch is coming out, and then
Jeremiah Smith. Yeah.
So yeah, I think
so we went Brees. I remember you tweeted about you like Brees. It's the 2025. Thanks, Sir Brooks. You love that Brees. He keeps falling. Where did we get him?
We got him at 40.
40. I mean, I'm a big fan. Like Jets ran the few 32nd were in runs per game last year. They lost Moses Brown, which isn't ideal. Their O-line, a little banged up, but I think with Fields' run mandate, I think he's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Brees Hall. He had a down year. What was that?
Buy the dip, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of buying the dip, especially on Brees Hall. I like Braylon Allen too, but I mean Brees Hall is just so talented.
Yeah, and Allen wasn't actually that great. I think he was like 3.8 yards per rush. He just he stuck out, which is a good thing, but it's like his raw numbers weren't that explosive, but nobody's were last year. What else? So what are we thinking here now? Do we want to try and chase a rookie?
This is let me see. I love TreVeyon Henderson, and
I just did the Pats deep dive, right? They drafted. They said they drafted the best center in the league. I think they got Moses Brown from the Jets, and their first round pick, right, was the left guard tackle.
Yeah, I think Will Campbell's a guard.
Will Campbell, yeah, sure.
Okay. So doing the Patriots, do you subscribe to the TreVeyon Henderson pick here?
Yeah, I think he looks like he's a monster. I think that offense is going to take a big leap. And I love running backs with running QBs. It seems like it's be counterintuitive, but it seems like the best running offenses have all had running QBs outside of the Lions.
Yeah, the running quarterback definitely helps. Helps a running attack as a whole, I think.
Especially if you have a good OC who can be running some options and some RPOs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not really locked in this draft here. So we got 3 wide receivers, 1 running back. Stafford, we can get super late. What are we looking for? Home run hits here?
Yeah.
Like Olave, kind of. He's
Olave 61. Let's go. I'd like to go Henderson here.
Okay, yeah, Let's get draft some rookies. All right, let's do it.
Come on, there we go. Oh, so not whatever. We got him. Nothing there. Now, yeah, I mean, we can. I think the board's open now. I don't think falling Hurts is a good fit for our team.
Hurts, Jalen? No.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I just don't know if it's a fit for our team. Having him naked or back stacked.
Because we probably need Stafford to be QB 10, right? Because that means 4,000 yards, 30 TDs. So it's like
I'm fine with.
I gotta let my dog in.
I'm fine with Stafford being our QB 2. That's not a problem if we find the right if we get the right value in the right spot. Let's see. George Pickens just went to Dallas. That's interesting. I'm normally not a George Pickens guy, but his ADP has been shooting up the board. If you like Debo in Washington, I'm not a huge fan there. What are you thinking here? What do you like?
Oh, sorry, I had to let my dogs were scratching at the door.
Oh no.
Did you no Kamara? Let's punt the Saints. Pickens? I mean, good QB, wide receiver 2, passing offense.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know. I know you said you were letting your dog out. Sorry, I'm not looking at. I'm focused on the draft.
You're locked in. It's cool. I love it.
But yeah, man, I was mentioning that Pickens he's shooting up the draft board too. Just recently with a trade, he was in the 70s and he's already up to 64. Just a day or two after the trade. I normally don't click his name. I just never liked the situation in Pittsburgh, but you have to adapt and recognize that situations change. And I mean, Pickens might end up being a pretty good value here.
Who's Pittsburgh's quarterback right now? My mind's blanking.
Mason Rudolph.
So
And
they don't have one.
They drafted a rookie, Will Howard. Is that who it was? They drafted.
Okay.
It was like a fifth or it was like a late round quarterback, so they don't really have.
They're hoping on Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
All right,
running backs, Brees, TreVeyon. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Brees and TreVeyon. I like that. And then we've got Nico Collins, Puka Devontae, and then George Pickens.
So is it strategy to kind of go more high risk, right? Because I mean, Puka got hurt last year, Nico got hurt, Devontae is old, TreVeyon's a rookie, Brees was kind of banged up. Like it's a high risk team, but if you want to win this thing, you got to hit these high risk picks, and then all of a sudden you're cooking.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's all about balancing risk versus reward. And again, you do so many drafts. There's so many different combinations that this is the team that like we're just shooting for the ceiling. Again, like you said, there definitely ended up being some high risk players. Nico, though, like we said, is probably pretty safe as a whole, unless he gets hurt. But anyone can get hurt. So yeah, this looks like a draft where we're kind of just shooting for ceiling here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's probably less likely to get into the week 15, but if we do, then it's like watch out.
Yeah, that could be a fair way to categorize it. Coming up here on 81, there's still some values here. I really like if Diggs makes it back, we could go Diggs and then have Drake May and
no Diggs.
Stafford.
No Diggs. I'm pulling my
no
foot
Diggs.
Down. Dig free zone.
Oh, Diggs went. So there we go. I like Pearsall here. If he's there, I like Reed. I like Shakir. I like Tony Pollard.
Tony, Cam Moore, Tony. Did Ty Spears get hurt? Is he out?
No, I don't think. I mean, I think he was probably hurt at some point last season.
Yeah, but he's not. It wasn't like an ACL.
No. I don't think it was anything crazy. Brandon,
I like Pollard or Pearsall. We probably need a running back more, right?
I'd go Pearsall here if it was up to me. I love Ricky Pearsall. I think he's going to be incredible.
I like Ricky Pearsall too. Is running back going to get thin though?
Honestly, not really. And we pick in 6 picks as well.
Okay.
So we can certainly grab
I don't like any of those. Paul Pacheco, maybe. I think Pollard's probably the best guy there.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm starting to be a little more in on Brian Robinson. He survived the draft. It's going to be a high-powered defense as our running back 3. I'd be fine with that. Pollard would be ideal though. But yeah, I mean, if we want to go running back here, Pollard just went. If in this range, my vote would be Brian Robinson. I don't love it, but
I like him, but he's a little one-dimensional. Daniels maybe they don't want Daniels inside the 5. Yeah, let's go Brian Robinson. He's
Robinson.
solid.
We can go Shakir and just go really wide receiver heavy. There's definitely some value to be had at running backs later on. And remember, we start 3 wide receivers. Brian Robinson.
Yeah. Okay. I like Shakir. He only had 4 touchdowns, right? Like Jalen Naylor and Joseph each had 6, right? 100 targets. I don't think Keon Coleman will usurp that. I'm a big Shakir guy.
Okay. Yeah, let's go Shakir. And then we can definitely take a pause on receiver and focus on running back, try to get our quarterbacks, maybe a tight end. I thought about Hawkinson too to solidify our tight end. But to be honest, I always think this whenever I'm thinking about drafting TJ Hawkinson, I'd rather just take Evan Ingram like 2 rounds.
Well, Jonnu Smith, right? I did the Miami deep dive, right? If Tyreek's falling off, Waddle's not really a guy. I mean, Jonnu was kind of beastly, right?
Waddle's not really a guy. That's interesting. I mean, you did the deep dive. I like Jonnu. I'm coming around on him because I'm definitely kind of off on Tyreek. And that offense is, speaking of Jonnu, just went at 93.
Wow.
That offense has the potential to be so explosive. Of course, it has its dud weeks, but in best ball, like that doesn't really matter because you're chasing ceiling. So, I mean, yeah, I've definitely come around on Jonnu Smith. Talk about that a little bit and what you found out from the Dolphins doing their deep dive.
It's just, I mean, the O-line's still crap. The defense didn't get much better. I mean, Tyreek's just not a target monster. Waddles, I find he's just, I think he had the rookie reception record, but since then he just hasn't really stepped up. Whereas like people thought it'd be like a Chase Higgins, right? He'll Waddle. Even with Hill having a down year, Waddle didn't make the step forward. I thought. I know Tua was out. Just so Jonnu Smith seemed like the most consistent guy, getting great first read share. I think they're still going to pass a lot because it changed more of a receiving back than a running back, and they didn't really address that. So I think they're going to be down. They're going to pass a lot, and quick read Jonnu is just it's just too easy over the middle, because it's going to be like when Randy Moss got old. He was still just running the go routes, and he still had to attract the attention. He just wouldn't get the ball. I think Tyreek's going to be doing a lot of that.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, Tyreek. I mean, he's still so good, but I mean, his last season was kind of a mess, and the injuries. And Evan Ingram just went at 102. That's funny.
Jesus. Okay, so what are we looking at for tight ends and QBs here? Should we? Jalen Warren, I love. People are repping the rookie that they got.
Caleb Johnson. I don't draft a lot of Warren. I really don't love Warren, but I'll draft him. It's good to have that exposure to everyone. He can definitely have some big weeks if you want to go him here.
I think he's a stud. Najee just wasn't explosive. Warren's a better receiving back. He had better, I think, yards per rush, but he was just coming in. They just weren't running the ball that effectively. I don't know. Every time I watched Warren, he jumped off the page, and Najee would fall forward for like 3-4 yards. I think if this rookie Caleb Johnson, is Caleb Johnson? No.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson.
Because not all running back rookies hit, right? If he doesn't come up to snuff, Warren has a full backfield. They're going to probably run a lot. I haven't done the full work, but Warren's going to be a guy with big circle marks for me.
Interesting. Okay, man, the two rookie receivers here, Luther Burden and Emeka Egbuka, falling pretty far. That's oof.
So that's what I was talking about before. It was like landing spot, right? Egbuka is going to be almost maybe the wide receiver 4 there. Burden's still going to be behind Odunze and Swift more.
And they drafted Loveland.
Yeah, right. We just saw JSN didn't hit as a rookie, and Rome didn't hit as a rookie.
What do you want to do here on the clock? We've got 10 seconds here. What do we want to do?
We want a running back?
Yeah, I would do Sharp. Najee? I like Najee.
I like Najee.
Najee has those in that offense has that 2 touchdown potential.
I just dogged him and Ward was better, but it's just you got that Charger O-line, that run mandate. And again, I think sometimes everyone wants to zig on these rookies, right? They come in, great rookie draft, blah, blah, blah. And it's the forgotten guys like Najee, I guess Jalen Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, right? If rookie running backs get 50% hit rate, there's going to be a lot of these guys that just don't hit. And that's going to leave a ton of value on the old hands.
Yeah, maybe Omarion Hampton takes a little while or doesn't hit. And I mean, again, in that Greg Roman offense and what Jim Harbaugh and them want to do down there, they're going to run the ball a lot. So I think there's going to be enough meat on the bone for both running backs. And like I said, Najee Harris has that 2 touchdown upside, which is great in best ball. And in the 10th round as our running back 4 to pair with Hall, Henderson, and Jalen Warren. I mean, I'm totally fine with it. He's fallen a bit since the draft, actually, since they drafted Hampton in the first round. He ended up making it up into the late 60s pre-draft. And now, as you see, we just got him at 112. So we got him at, half the price, I guess, if you want to look at it like that.
So what do you see looking forward? Do you think rookies just going to keep climbing and like kind of these guys who are like the Najee, Ramondres, and maybe Jalen Warrens are going to kind of slide because everyone's thinking Bucky, Rashad White last year, and peak late, you win the league.
Yeah, I think that until we start to see like action in training camp and like where people are loosely on the depth chart and just kind of getting that different news and stuff, I think rookies will continue to rise because, everybody has rookie fever every year. So yeah, I could definitely see them continuing to slowly rise until, like I said, we see them on the practice field, news breaks, blah, blah, blah. In 7 picks here, running back is kind of dried up. So I'm glad we got 4 that we feel pretty good about.
All right, just quickly. So, guys, hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Sport Ethos channel. Like, comment, subscribe. That all works. And back to your regular scheduled draft. Okay. Are we QB tight end territory now?
I think so. I actually wouldn't hate going Dak here to stack with
Dak stack.
Yeah, Dak stack with George Pickens, and then we can try to go.
I mean, he was a
we can
QB2 2 years ago, right?
Oh, he just went. That's upsetting.
Oh.
I would have. Oh man, that would have been pretty good. I'd be happy to stack
Stroud?
CJ Stroud with CJ Stroud with Nico Collins.
The most fun stack in the world because he just hyper targets Nico all the time. And
let's do it. Let's do it. I like that. And then
go to QB though. Who are we competing with? Like
Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this is the area that Stroud belongs in. I think I do like Michael Penix a lot. But
so you got a lot of Drake Penix, eh?
I actually don't have a lot of Drake May. Oh, you're talking about Drake London. Yeah. I am. I think pre-draft, my Michael Penix was my highest exposure quarterback at 31%. I don't remember exactly where Drake London fell. Do we want to, if Christian Kirk is there, do we want to just tack him on at the end to stack? And
big Kirk guy. What about is Jaden Higgins though? Is he still there?
No, Jaden Higgins goes around pick 100. Jalen Noel goes around 150.
So Kirk is like that's like the wide receiver version of like the running of getting Najee, right? It's like if Higgins isn't good, Kirk wide receiver 2 with Nico.
I like the value here.
I'm a big Kirk guy. Big.
I like the value there a lot. And now we are done at wide receiver. Like we don't. I think we're good. I like our room though. I think our room is high floor, high ceiling. High floor, high ceiling. I think our wide receiver room for sure.
So do you do some drafts where you just kind of zag? It's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take Tyreek Jonnu and then get Tua, maybe even get like a chain and like you're just all in on the Dolphins or, a team that maybe no one expects. Because if you can be, the Bucks 2 years ago, who am I thinking from last year? What offenses blew up that were unexpected?
That weren't expected.
Yeah, that's the key is not expected.
Washington.
Denver, Washington, yeah, right?
Denver, Washington, yeah. I like the Ray Davis pick here.
Because they have, Ray Davis. I don't know what they're going to do with James Cook. I think he wants about $15 million per, and the Bills have been really good about, where they're spending their money. And they know that Allen can kind of carry the offense, and you got to push all that money to the defense and hope, you can get some stops late in the playoffs. Running backs kind of if you don't have Saquon Barkley, just put a guy in and next to Josh Allen, you're going to get 1,000 yards and 10 TDs.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so we're up in 8 picks. There's a lot of quarterbacks left. So we're up at pick 53 and 60. So theoretically, we could try to let Stafford squeeze by to 60. But I would hate to get sniped on him.
We need tight end though.
Yeah, but I just think to go with Puka and Adams, and at this point, CJ Stroud is definitely not a sure bet. So,
true.
Yeah, I think
Stafford, no matter what.
Yeah, I'd go Stafford, and then at this point, I think that we are going to end up just taking 3 or 4 at the end of the draft tight ends. In best ball, it's funny. It's like tight end almost doesn't matter that much unless you have one of the top guys, which is, I guess, a lot of fantasy football. But teams advance all the time with the worst tight end that you could imagine.
That's good to know. Or like Mike Gesicki late, right? And you just putting together, you got 3-4 tight ends that just each have 4 good weeks, and you hope it's spread out.
I definitely think we target. Where is he? Tyler Higbee at the end of the draft.
You and your Higbee, man.
I think it's interesting that Ferguson is going ahead of him. Again, it's probably the rookie hype, but the coaches, or I actually think it was Les Snead, pretty much came out and said that they see Ferguson as the potential heir apparent to Tyler Higbee.
Yeah,
which tells me that they're in on Higbee. So I don't know. I like him. They definitely have plays for him. They've always drawn up screens and plays for him, and he kind of pops off a game or two. So I think for our last round pick, I think that as long as he's there, that's definitely the answer. Okay, we got 2 picks. We need to really kind of focus on running back and tight end. Tank Bigsby's still there. That's a really ambiguous situation.
I don't do bad O lines.
We could go Ertz. We can go Hunter Henry. I like Rico Dowdle. I love Rico Dowdle.
Okay. Rico season.
Yeah, I'm a big fan there. Fills a need at running back. I mean, he ran for 1,000+ yards with Dallas last year, and he wasn't even the full-time starter until probably like halfway through the season, I think, or something like that. So
yeah, he's not much of a dual threat, but the thing is, he just didn't get the touchdowns. So like those are kind of fluky, right? James Cook had 2 years ago, tied for the lead with 16 last season. So yeah, betting on the positive variance is always a good plan.
Yeah, it's the toughest variable to predict in football and thus for fantasy football. And we know the Panthers are going to want to run the ball a lot. Canales said it last year, proved it. He's kind of doubled down by signing a very capable RB2 behind Chuba Hubbard. They drafted Etienne in the 4th round. I like everything about the Panthers running offense, and I think they have a pretty good offensive line as well.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not that deep on the Panthers. I don't like everything about their, because if they are down a lot throwing, right, that you want more of a receiving back. But we still don't really know anything. It's May. Nobody liked Chuba last year, and Chuba was probably a top 15 league swinger.
Yeah, no, I liked Chuba last year. A lot of people didn't. Okay, we're in bad shape at tight end, but that's okay.
Cade Otton. I guess they have so many wide receivers, but he was
Henry
so good.
Cade Otton.
Henry, I like Hunter Henry. I think they don't really have the number one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Henry. Outside of Diggs, who they expect to be their one. Yeah, I mean, Henry definitely has some big games. He's not a world. I mean, nobody at this point in the draft is a world beater. So, but yeah, I like Henry.
Tight end was the only position that was top 10 in fantasy points for the Pats. Everything else was like 24th or worse. So,
jeez.
Plus, Henry's just gonna be part of the equation, right? We gotta get a few. Do we want to get Houston? Get Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, Henry won't be a part of the equation on our team, so I think we just bite the bullet and take Dalton Schultz here.
Okay.
Because I mean, we don't really. Yeah, we gotta start hitting tight end. I think our running back room is pretty good, unless we want to maybe take Dylan Sampson here, add another rookie. But I think it's probably time to just start taking
tight end. Little Cade. I thought Cade Otton was great when after Godwin went down and Evans was out. I mean, he was like 80 yards a game. He's open all day.
Yeah, he was really good with his opportunity. The issue is now there are 4 wide receivers,
deeper,
2 running back deep. And I mean, so is Houston, but at least that kind of correlates with.
Yeah, wow, Houston.
There. Yeah.
Did Stafford go? Did we miss out on Stafford?
No, we got Stafford.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Thank God.
Yeah. We got him. I'm comfortable with those 2 quarterbacks, kind of dueling back and forth. If we don't end up getting a third one, let's see what else is happening here because we're up in 4 picks. Do we want to? I mean, we can kind of shoot for the moon here a little bit and go Mason Taylor.
What's the big thing here? So we got ADP and projected, right? So there's huge gaps in these, right? Look at Dylan Sampson's ADP or Mason Taylor 180 versus 87 projected. Like, could you just go by the projections and kind of win the league? Like when you do auto draft and like redrafts, auto draft always drafts the best team.
It's tough. I mean, you can definitely set position limits, but obviously the projected, the highest is the quarterback. So you would just end up with like a ton of quarterbacks.
Okay.
All right, what do we want to do here? Do we want to tack on more running back? I think going Mason Taylor would be fun. Just adding a rookie in there, just kind of a mystery box. They drafted him pretty high. Targets are open on the Jets.
Yeah, but Justin Fields isn't going to throw. I mean, I think if we're taking a dart, we want it on a good passing offense.
We had 3 seconds, so.
Okay, whatever.
That's who we went with. We only had 3 seconds. But I mean, like I said, it's an interesting dart throw for tight end. for sure. Again, the targets are pretty open there. Justin Fields has definitely supported, I think, some pretty fantasy relevant people.
I think he supported one season of DJ Moore, and that's about all he's ever done.
He's made Kate Otten at least a Spike Week player, which in the 16th round in best ball, that's fine.
Justin Fields made Kate Otten? Are we what?
I think so. Kate Otten had a couple of Spike Weeks when he was a quarterback. A couple of big weeks here and there.
He was on the Bears?
Yeah.
It wasn't Cole Kmet? Are my wires crossed?
Did I not say Cole Kmet?
You saying Kate Otten?
I meant Cole Kmet.
Okay,
that'll do it. That'll do it. All right, here, last 2 rounds.
But Arroyo, I know some of the guys love him.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Just going. I think again, Seattle's a place where targets are open. And didn't they draft Arroyo in the 3rd round, in like the 3rd or 4th round?
I don't know. I just know he went, and the group chat kind of on Slack went nuts, and I was like, okay, what? I mean, all right.
No, I like that pick. Juwan Johnson's interesting. Chig is set up to be a top target.
Let me let him out again.
No worries. TreVeyon Sanders might be pretty good. I know that the Panthers are kind of looking on the up a little bit. Let's see here how it's falling. Sanders just went, ironically enough. Oh boy, some other positions of note. If we wanted to add another running back, we could go Marshawn Lloyd.
I was big on Lloyd last year. I like that because I think sometimes I'm a little early on the fade. I was big fade Josh Jacobs last year. So I think now might be the time.
So you want to go Lloyd to get a 6th running back and then just tack on Higbee at the end here for tight end, or do you want to
Lloyd? Lloyd. Let's do it. Lloyd City.
Lloyd. Okay, let's do it. That works for me.
So I like the first team we built more, maybe because it was 30 seconds and I had more input. But I like.
And there were 20 rounds. There were also 20 rounds in that one. There's only 18 now. Yeah, so we lose 2 rounds, which is interesting.
Just going that running back heavy, just feels a nice warm blanket, of Gibbs and Bucky Irving. It just it filled me with hope and promise. But I mean, Nico's my guy. I had Nico in every league last year. When he got hurt on that 76-yard touchdown against the Bills, he covered his over by a half yard, and then it's like Nico will not return to the game. I was like, no.
Oh my goodness. But you hit, right?
Yeah, I hit.
You made the over, so hey.
But I had him in my big money league. I had him in my medium money league. I had him in my little money league.
Oh boy, you had him everywhere.
Yeah, I was full Nico.
Tyler Higbee to end this thing.
That's fast. 20. So what do you think advantage is going 20-second, 30-second slow draft, right? Like 20-second is crazy. Like I can't keep up with this. This is all you.
We finished this in half an hour. And I think last time we were on the stream for like an hour. This draft went really quick. That happens with 20 seconds.
But I guess the better you are at it to navigate, right? It's like the Minority Report. That's a nice edge, right? Because it goes so fast, guys fly, you can't keep track. Where slow draft, you can kind of do more math and checking and seeing what guys have and project out, right?
Yeah, and that's why personally I like slow drafts better. I like to kind of plan and see like if I can maybe wait to see if I can take my quarterback, or if somebody else maybe has one of the receivers for that quarterback that is also in need of a quarterback, or if I should just take him now, just kind of things like that. It's a lot easier to strategize in slow drafts. Fast drafts are, I mean, you just kind of got to shoot at the hip. I think it's kind of gives an advantage to a little bit more sharper drafters because, you're happy to kind of overpay for a guy or whatnot. And like, I feel like you kind of just know a little bit more kind of about what you want to do and have a plan.
But I feel like guys can slide though, right? You're in a 20-second draft, maybe a guy's drafting on his phone in his kid's little league game, and it's like maybe all of a sudden, we got Puka, maybe you get Puka, late second instead. We got him kind of early mid-second, where a guy just slides because a couple guys don't see it or don't want him, and all of a sudden you've got this power team because 6 guys weren't paying attention because people do hundreds of these. Or is that just a pipe thing?
No, that can happen. I mean, we saw Puka, like you said. I mean, Puka fell to 16, and he's usually
8, right?
Yeah, I think his ADP is right around 8. Sorry, I was pulling up the whole draft board. We saw, we saw the 2 rookies, Burden and Ibuka, fall quite a bit. Jack Beck was drafted at 110, usually kind of going in the 120s. So let's analyze our draft here. Let's see kind of how it turned out. I like our start. I like going to double Rams because, again, it's a high-powered offense with Sean McVay. And it also kind of balances, like if one guy maybe gets hurt and misses a week, the other guy is going to totally dominate.
Yeah, nothing's better than Solo Puka.
Yeah, and I think both guys are definitely – I think there's enough to go around that offense that both guys can have good games at the same time. Plus, we have a pretty strong wide receiver room, I think, as a whole to kind of cover that as well.
I personally am going to be a fade Devontae. I think he's 31, 32. He just the Jets were second in passing attempts. They just force fed him. I'm just once you hit that 30, you show a little decline. I'm out. I hate getting burned. But that's just me personally. But he's still Devontae Adams. He's the best wide receiver of the last 10 years.
So would you question then? Interesting. Would you go Devontae Adams or Mike Evans? I mean, Mike Evans went right after.
I'm passing both. I got
kind of the same guy. Oh, you're passing on both of them.
I gotta, yeah. I'd go Worthy. I'd go. Give me the young, speedy mofo who's the fastest guy in the league, playing with the best QB in the league, who really took off late season, has that upside, 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, 50+ yards, but is also an integral part of the offense, and they run it with them. So I'd be Worthy all day. Plus, we don't know what's happening with Rashee Rice, how healthy when he comes back, if he's healthy. I'm smashing Worthy.
Let's see how deep you would go here. What about Zay Flowers or Adams Evans?
Flowers.
Sutton, I feel like, is probably in a similar category as them as an older guy.
Sutton's probably only like 27.
No, I think he's like 29.
Okay.
DK Metcalf, that's a terrible offense. I hope you would go.
Yeah, you're right. Yes,
for the offense. All right, so maybe DK is the line. Although DJ Moore, I feel like maybe.
Love me some DJ Moore. Caleb, come back. I just for Devontae, it's just the age. It's just when it goes, right? We saw with Cooper Kupp last year. He couldn't get open. It's like guys hit this wall and all of a sudden they blow up. Tyreek was going 4th overall. I think he was a wide receiver like 21. It's not like it's a gradual decline.
Yeah.
And they get hurt. If they're not bad, they get hurt. So it's just like, I'm out.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's certainly fair that there's a world where Devontae Adams kind of just turns to dust. I just think in that offense, I just think it's worth it. It's worth the risk.
Yeah. No. Hey, nobody knows anything yet, and it's May. But all right, we got to wrap up here. We'll go for another minute, but let me just get this out. So I'm going to make sure you follow us on Twitter at Ethos Fantasy NFL. Follow me on Twitter at John Mosales. Anthony is at AQ Fresh. Subscribe to the NFL Fantasy Podcast. I'll be back next week. I think I'm having this guy Big Loaf on that I found on Reddit, who's had the most intense. I sent it to you. You probably haven't looked at it yet. Intense best ball breakdown I've ever seen. It's like 100 pages. And it's from last year. I got lost reading it, so I'm gonna have him on. Maybe do a draft. Maybe you can jump in, at least watch, because he's essentially gonna be speaking, Martian. But so that's cool. Gonna be cool. Because it's best ball season, right? There's no real point to do a mock redraft. Dynasty rookie drafts are kind of in rage, but best ball seems fun, quick, easy, and we learned something.
Yeah, no, I mean, best ball is fun. Again, if you like to draft, you just fire it off, and it's not like you need to manage all these leagues at the end of the year. It kind of just does it itself. Always a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to join whenever. Always down to draft.
Underdog, let me draft in Ontario, but also don't let me, because I'd have more of these done than Anthony. I like having a nice little buffer. I message Anthony all the time, like, best ball draft? Best ball? He's like, I just did one. I was like, oh, you bastard.
Yeah, I definitely try to pace myself as well. The budget only goes so far.
You look at me, you got a comma. You got a comma in your account.
It goes quick. it's always good to play within your means, obviously. So I'm definitely trying to pace myself. It's still early May. I need to tell myself that sometimes, like we are
Yeah,
still
I
early
know.
May.
I know. It's going to
Like
be July, and it's only July. But
yeah,
so yeah, check us out. Our fantasy, we're dropping podcasts. We're going to be dropping our draft guide soon. Everyone's hopefully working on their team pages, team previews, and it's action packed. I mean, I think I'm getting in the weeds even earlier than last year. It's going to be a comeback year. I got screwed by some injuries. I'm going to have about 100 leagues, and I'm going to try and win them all. Anthony,
100.
This is great. I love best ball drafts. We're gonna do a bunch more of these. We're gonna do a best ball. What's it? The Millie Maker?
It's Best Ball Mania. Millie Makers on DraftKings. But yeah, we'll
Okay.
do Best Ball Mania draft at some point this summer.
Yeah,
I need to
late.
prepare. I like to pick my spots and do them because I only do so many. Because again, the budget
Yeah, exactly.
is important. But yeah, no, we'll definitely do one at some point. See how that shakes out. Those are some real sharp drafters, so that'll be interesting to see how we do there.
Yeah. Okay. This has been great. Anyone watching, check us out. Like, subscribe, comment. Till next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone.